I'm good. How are you?
How are you?
I was
Yeah,
just
good,
breaking
thanks.
this fast.
Oh,
It's the last day, right? Tomorrow.
Saturday was the last day, but then you can do optional ones. So
Oh, extra.
do a little bit of extra just to, try to put myself on better standing with God, hopefully.
Yeah. Awesome. That's really cool.
That can't go wrong with that.
Speaking of religious stuff, I was just in Salt Lake City last week, down in your neck of the woods.
my hometown. Wow.
Yeah.
Adopted hometown, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
How
Eventual
was it?
hometown. Cold, generally, yeah. Surprisingly cold. It's snowing like crazy the day that I flew in. I actually walked like 3 miles just trying to figure out where I was at because I was staying a little bit from the IT conference I was at. Didn't realize my boot was like half size too big. So I rubbed like a monster blister into the back. So, I mean, I've had better trips, but the city's beautiful. Landing in the snow and it all being so gray. And then 2 days later, it's like 70 degrees and all the colors are coming out. Yeah, it's a beautiful city.
Yeah, it's a cool setting for sure. Definitely, I think it's a place that grew on me. I didn't love it at first, to be honest, but I am partial to Salt Lake now. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
it's beautiful.
How long were you out in Salt Lake for, Scott?
7-8 years. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so a good amount of time.
Yeah, we were out of this place called the Grand America Hotel, and they had like golden. I mean, it was way too nice for me to be there, but it was really nice. It was a nice place, and it's like super clean city. Yeah,
that's the one thing that Salt Lake's got going for it. It is, to be fair, we were in Charlotte this weekend, as you know, and I thought that's kind of similar, but it's like very clean, the well kept city. It's kind of what the thing I like most about it, to be honest. But Charlotte was Charlotte is right up there with nice places I've been in the United States.
Yeah, I have a sister that lives there. That is a beautiful city.
Yeah.
So jumping into it, Maj, you want to go ahead and ask the first question?
So what's your thoughts on the team so far this year, Coach Scott? What do you think of the overall performance for the first 2 games and the first game in New Jersey? So 3 games now that the team has played. What's your thoughts?
I'm overall, I'm relatively pleased. I mean, obviously, look, everyone wants to turn ties into wins. But I think when we talked last and did this last, the one thing I was adamant about trying to make sure happened is that you had a team that goes out there and that you can visually see is giving everything that they have in every moment is ambitious, but most moments, I coach humans, right? So they have on and off moments, but I think if that's your baseline and that's your foundation, which you build from, I think that's a really solid foundation to build quality from. That's the foundation I think we've laid. I think we laid it in preseason and had a really good preseason. I think the culture is such an important piece of what I do as a coach or a head coach, and we didn't get that right. Didn't even get it close to being right in 2024. But the feeling around the club and the specifically the team environment, so very, very different, very, very connected. Again, just made sure that we had players that came in, and I can't promise to anyone that we've got the most talented team, depending on how you define talent, but I can promise you we've got the grittiest, hardest working, most committed group. And I think we've seen that in the first 2 games, or 3 games, in tough environments. We've gone to Naples, complete unknown. Obviously, you've seen what they've done since. They've gone on, that's 2 wins, 2 ties, one of them against us, 8 points out of their 4 games. So that then they're no pushover. They've started well. Difficult environment in terms of their first game, big crowd, and an atrocious pitch. I think they do everything they did was top class. They made a really good first impression, but they'll tell you themselves that pitch isn't very good. And then obviously, look, Open Cup, and I said to the lads, I said anyone who's played in the Open Cup, and I've been on both sides of it now, obviously on the pro side and the amateur team playing, in that, That'll be the hardest games of the year. It proved to be that way. You know, Gazmar's getting sent off after 30 minutes is less than ideal. Omar Hernandez getting injured after 20 is less than ideal. And to play 90 minutes with 10 men is less than ideal. But to come back from behind twice and to come through that, I think shows grit and character and against what was a really good New Jersey team. These amateur teams pulling lots of, we actually had one of the lads who was formerly at Hartford Athletic come in and trial with us post that game, right? And then we went to Charlotte, and I thought that was another improved performance. I think I said it in my post-match. You know, I was really proud of the group there. I thought we could have comfortably come away with 3 points in that game against a really good Charlotte side. They've got a couple of special players in there, and they're a well-built outside, historically a good side. But again, we have a mantra and talk about points on the road. So in terms of setting a solid foundation for where we want to go, in terms of setting goals and hitting them consistently, we've been doing that. And again, I think as long as we keep moving in an upward trajectory, and this isn't our ceiling, which I don't think it is close to, then for the first couple of weeks of the year, I'm really happy, yeah.
I listened to that Walking 90 podcast interview that you did, and you said something in there about the blue collar attitude of the team. And I do think they showed that, especially, you know, going down a red card 2 games in a row, still fighting back to, you know, take away a point or win some penalties. I mean, things like that happen. And the first red card, like you said, you know, unavoidable, basically, maybe not unavoidable, but just a reaction. You know, nothing you can really do about that. But the red card in the New Jersey game, and Maj, maybe you can speak to it too, but from the you know, terrible camera that they had, it looked like, you know, it was our guy was actually taken down from behind, and then then it was called on us. So
it's never a penalty, never a red card in a million years, never a foul in a million years. But but this is just that's my only quarrel with the Open Cup in general. I look at it and go, an amateur team has come and played a USL 1 team, but we've got amateur referees, or like not amateur referees, they're professional referees, but from like they'll do UPSL and they'll do NPSL, etc. There should have been League 1 referees on there. And if we go play Birmingham Legion, for example, we should get championship caliber referees. And if we're good enough to have a go and play an MLS team, we should get the team above, the team that sets the tempo of the game should get them. That's here nor there. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Garrett. He was the subject of a bad draw there. But again, I'd say to him, before that ball bounces and he gets himself in a position where he gets fouled or he has to get himself in trouble, the ball should have never bounced and it should have been back to our keeper out of play. And he's 18 years old. And these are lessons that young footballers or sometimes older footballers need to learn. So I take what you can from it. He'll grow. And again, I think in terms of being coaches and environments are built off foundational blocks, and us to be able to look at that and go down to 10 men and that's how you react. And we're poor after that as well. For the next 15 minutes of that half, we were very, very poor. And to rally, I thought we were very good second half, thought we were good enough in the extra time, obviously short-handed. And I think that says a lot about the group, you know. And I want to be blue collar. I don't really care about being super pretty. I want to be gritty and hardworking, and I want teams to hate playing against us.
And there's definitely, you could tell the difference in that match, and that typically, you know, from previous season to this season, you see the difference with the guys because they kept fighting. They didn't give up, you know, even after the last whistle blew and the PKs were all done and everything. You could see like the difference in their reaction from the guys, and they left it all on the pitch the entire match. And you know, being there to see that gave us a little bit of unfair advantage. I know, you know, in the fan supporters group, you know, we're talking, everybody's saying this and that, and it's like, you guys just have to wait to see them play. When you see them in person, it's so much more different than what the camera shows, because you're watching 11 guys on the pitch constantly moving, running, you guys, covering each other. There's not any excuses. You don't see any excuses from the guys, and just the leadership and the camaraderie and the guys playing together was amazing to watch when we were up there in Jersey. So, I think this group is going to be very special because they seem like they're a lot more tight knit, and they play for each other, which is huge. Like, you don't see that separation from them. That you can tell they all encourage each other and push hard. So,
we had video this morning. We do video every day, but a little thing we showed in our video this morning, which is interesting. It's from the game in Charlotte. So we had the fasting break at the little break in the first half. It was about 42nd minute. And obviously, aside from both teams had Muslim players, and aside from those players getting their nutrition in, obviously that's a chance for us, both coaches, to get around and coach their players, right? And so I screenshotted exact same moment them, and I screenshotted us, and I put it in our video this morning. And we are about as tight knit as you can get in terms of arms around, all attention, staff, etc. And the contrasting image at the same moment in time is singular different conversations going on over there. And I thought, and that was a powerful image of what we've been able to build within the group. And again, it's got to translate to, we've got a long way to go in terms of meeting our potential as a football team. But what we want is that foundation that you can build from, where when things go wrong, or that you hit a solid wall and you can bounce back. I think that's what you saw in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Plenty of adversity in that game, but certainly not a knockout punch. And that's what I'm most infused or excited about, that we've been able to create here. And I think the boys feel the same way.
Yeah. No, that's very exciting to see. And hopefully that will carry over. And I think once the boys play home here in Chattanooga and the fans get to see it, or supporters get to see it, hopefully it will carry into the stands, and it brings that much more energy and bring us closer together. So we're really excited about the 2 games coming up this week, and really excited about that. So really pumped, I think. So
yeah.
So going into the game Wednesday, how were the injuries that we had? I know we traveled light last time because of some injuries. Seems like we were okay in Charlotte, but how are we looking so far?
Yeah, so we're not in bad shape. Charlotte, obviously, we returned a good amount. Omar Hernandez, Pedro, Joshi Ramos, and then obviously had Omar Gomez and Zai join us. So 5 of those 7 on our bench were on minute restrictions, meaning that obviously we have to manage their load. They're healthy, but if we go over X amount of minutes, there's a good chance that we have a reoccurring injury or whatnot. So there's an awareness of that. There's still players on minute restrictions, but they're not major minute restrictions. Obviously, I won't go through who they are in case,
Yeah, no problem.
In case we go. But we have full, well, other than 2 longer standing injuries, obviously Grayson Mercer, Wine and Wessels have been out for a minute. We have full availability beyond that, which is a great place to be going into Wednesday and obviously Saturday at home.
Yeah. One of the new guy stars that really shined to me in Charlotte was Al-Hassan. I really liked his speed, especially. And I think he'll perform well for us this year. Is there anybody else that's standing out for you this early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, look, Al-Hassan is exciting. He's young. He's a little raw, but he's, like you say, he's lightning quick. And one of the things that I hope you'll see through the season, but maybe doesn't showcase just in a game like Charlotte, he is crazy competitive. He fits the culture we want to build. So he'll work in transition. He'll put in a big tackle, sometimes a bit of a reckless tackle, and we have to rein that in a little bit. But he's certainly exciting, and I think he's one where, we've had a few players historically as a club. We've been quite lucky to have players that can get you guys off your seats a little bit. I think he's going to be one of them, and he's got a big ceiling, a lot of potential. I look at we've had good forwards in the past in the club that scored a lot of goals, but I don't think we've had someone like Matt Bentley that just like for me, he's a great finisher, good finisher, and a quality football player. He can take a player on, he can get in the box, he can hold it up. But that guy never stops. His work rate is outstandingly good. And while we've had good goal scorers, I don't think this club has. I can't go further back than 21, maybe 2020. I don't think since then we've had a centre forward that will just work and work and work and work and work. We've had quality centre forwards, don't get me wrong, some really good ones that are good finishers, but not someone who's just going to run himself, just run for his teammates. And that's what Matt is, you know. And look, I think I could go through. I'm really happy with where I think the other one I'll highlight, just for the sake of times, Big Deck, and the way he's come back in as obviously a second year Red Wolf player and took a leadership position. I think the setup we're playing suits him, allows his best attributes to come in. But that guy's a winner, you know, extremely competitive, leads by example, on and off the pitch, and we shipped goals last year. We were giving them out for free.
Yeah,
you know, and I think he's took that personally. I think he doesn't want that on his resume, just like we all have that have returned. And he's been, again, outstanding on the pitch. I think he's had 3 very good performances, and I think he's been behind the curtains even better for us. So just, I mean, look, but I could go on and on. And again,
sure.
Yeah.
I've always been a Declan fan.
Yeah.
He's so tall for an Irish dude. We don't see that often, so we're always a fan of big Irish guys.
Yeah.
So and his speed, and I think I would say him specifically, in my opinion, the what I've seen of him this year, maybe a little bit better decision making, just out of the gate. So I think he's improved quite a bit.
Yeah, and look, he put the work in.
Yep.
He's ambitious. He's hungry. He's again, chip on the shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and that was important. No one was allowed to return that, one, didn't want to be here, and 2, that there was accepting of where we are or where we were. And he certainly fits the bill of someone who's hungry, ambitious, and wants to right a whole lot of wrongs. He's been great. Yeah.
Man, you can definitely see his leadership on the pitch and in the huddle with the guys and everything. So it's real strong to see that. Man, it's real energetic. You know, it carries on, and you hear him. He's vocal on the pitch. You know, and you know, if you're trying to come down the middle of the pitch there, I don't think there's much room for you to do anything.
Yeah,
you know?
he's up for the battle for sure. Yeah.
So we got to talk about CFC a little bit.
Okay, let's go.
We don't want to just completely ignore it, but we are very much looking forward to that game. We've been looking forward to that game, you know,
for 10 years
since the Red Wolves came around. I, as a lot of people know, used to be a CFC fan. I know they asked you in that Walk in 90 podcast, you know, are there people that float between both? And I did that, you know, for some years. So I don't have a whole lot of animosity towards CFC or anything. So I've actually been working with the fans on sort of like a joint tailgate beforehand to make sure that everything's just kind of cool. So 5 o'clock at Naked River, we're trying to make that happen. Super glad that they opened the north side of the stadium so that we can be closer to the action. So we'll be there rooting for you guys. Have you watched any tape on CFC at all?
Yeah, I mean, I was at their game yesterday.
Were you down in Atlanta?
Yeah, I was at their game in Atlanta, so I got a good look there, and obviously
probably the only non-CFC fan there.
I sat on the far. They were about as far away as they only opened one stand, and I was about as far away from their group as possible. So
okay. So thoughts on them then? Just the team in general.
Yeah, I think they are in the process of a resurgence year as well. They obviously cleared a lot out, brought in some good players. I think they've got 1 or 2 standout players that have had good starts, and I think they went to Atlanta and had 30-40% of the ball, which I am not unfamiliar with. In fact, that's a philosophical choice of mine. They were outshot like 25-5 or something. Don't quote me on that, because I don't think that big a margin, but scored 2 very good goals. They're dangerous. They're dangerous in transition. They've got some very good players, and there's no doubt in my mind that I mean, we've seen the PR machine out there for them. There's no doubt in my mind that they're being told every day this is the biggest game of the century for them, and we expect them to be really up for it. I think it will be 2 very good teams competing and going at it. And obviously, I think on our side, I think we're up for it.
Yep. And I said that before, not to say that it is a huge game for us. All of us are really, really looking forward to it, and a win would validate us, in this city. Really, just showing up and playing well will validate us in this city. So, I think it's a huge opportunity for us. I think it's a huge opportunity for the city. Watching the game yesterday, yeah, they seemed to play really, really well. That second goal by Atlanta was gorgeous, though, from the back of the box. That was quite a stunning goal. They did seem dangerous on those transition plays. Where I think that CFC got their second goal off that transition play. We faced that Charlotte, that amazing save by was Jackson, right? Back, yeah. That saved that transition goal in Charlotte. So that's concerning. And then there was that transition red card in the other Open Cup. So it does seem a bit like a danger to us, but I'm sure we'll be ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's something we're aware of. It's something that, again, you look at that moment in Charlotte, and obviously there's things that lead up to that. So we go Johnny's service, and he won't mind me saying this, he knows it himself. It's a poor service. Poor service leads to transition moments. He doesn't clear the first man, it comes out. I believe, if I'm getting my memory serves me correctly, I believe that is a moment where Wally slips or someone slips, which would be the first line of how can we contain the breakout, go forward very quickly. All that happens. I think the one thing that I'd highlight for all these boys in this league, and it'll be the same for CFC, and it'll be the same for everyone in the league. No one in this league, including myself, can be world class at the football aspect. I'll never be Pep Guardiola, and none of these players will ever be Lionel Messi. We can't. We're not going to be world class at any of the football bit, but all of us can be world class in effort. And in that moment there, if you watch the full clip, Kimball is inside their penalty area, just off to the right. He's not on the screen as that clip emerges. He runs whatever the distance is. That's 90 yards, give or take, non-stop, all out. 60th minute? And by the way, he was injured last week. And against CFC, he got not against CFC, in New Jersey. After the first half, he got an earful from me. Like, I wasn't happy with him, and that for me, I thought his second half in New Jersey, and then in that game for that reaction, that is outstanding. And for me, that's world class effort, and is a testament. But so off track a little bit there. I just think it's worth praising the boy. But yeah, look. That is a real danger. That is something that CFC do very well, and we have to be aware of and have plans in place to counteract that and be prepared for that. And we certainly feel like we do. And obviously the plan is for it to be not just feel like we do, but actually do on the evening.
You feel like we're good on the depth for not only CFC, but then rolling right into the home opener against Tormenta on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think the signings we made with Zaya Vasquez, and obviously you guys know Omar Gomez, I think they were necessary, and I think they certainly help. That's 2, again, for me, really good proven League One players that again just make it so we're able to go. I think we got the point in Charlotte. I think we could have got more. As I said, I think we got the point in Charlotte because we were able to bring on players like Omar Hernandez came off the bench, Omar Gomez, Zaya Vasquez, Pedro Hernandez. They're top players coming off our bench on Saturday. And that does make a difference. And I think those signings certainly give us that opportunity. And health. It's a constant revolving door in this league. In any league in the world, you look at Premier League, look at Tottenham this year, play half a season playing academy players. But we do a lot of work around making sure players maintain and then return to health quickly, and we're in a good spot for a busy week.
So I think you notice with the signings that we picked up, you don't see a drop in level of play when we got guys coming off the bench. That level of play is still there. The intensity is still there. So you don't, it's not like, okay, someone's coming off the bench and you're like, okay, you can tell there's a difference. These guys are giving 100% effort. And I think that speaks volumes to the team and the signings that you have with Omar and Zaire and adding Al Hassan to get to watch them all play. So I think that's going to be huge. And then also with the injuries, like you said, coming back, we're able to, when you make a substitution, it looks like you're not concerned about a level and drop, and it doesn't seem like these guys are scared to play at any position. Is that something, the identity of the team, where these guys are going to constantly be able to move from position to position, you think? Or is it, even with Jason Smith coming onto the pitch in the Open Cup, are we going to see any of that this coming up Wednesday? Or
I think Jason would thank me if I never do that to him again. I think he's got his unique I've got a story to tell moment, and I think he's good with it. No, look, we went to New Jersey, and Hassie was meant to play in that game, and he missed his he was cleared by the USL, but he missed his US Soccer Open Club clearance by 2 hours. So he was, obviously you saw him, he was there, he just couldn't play, which is unfortunate. And obviously we knew we needed a little bit of reinforcements, why we brought the two boys in. But in terms of, it's really important. Though there is in every squad, there's levels. But ours isn't huge. There are levels. We clearly have players who are maybe whether it's more experienced or just have higher levels of quality in certain areas, whatever it might be. But I do think that, I don't worry about how do I politely put this? I think we've had more quality in the past. I hope the boys don't get offended by that. I'm not, I think what you would consider quality, but I would put them on the bench and wonder what are we going to get out of them today? Which version of player A are we going to get? And I don't have that concern or worry about anyone. I think I just have a bunch of really honest, hardworking and quality football players. But and that's the biggest difference maker. And I'm sure you guys feel the same. Like, if you probably can think about who I'm thinking about without us ever having to put someone's name out there to the world. You'd put some people on and be like, wow, that was unbelievable. And other days you'd be like, well, he didn't fancy it tonight. And you'll take consistent 7s and some 8s versus a guy who's a 10 one day and a 2 the next. And I think we're more in the first category.
And we definitely had significant stretches with those players of ties, almost the whole summer of 1-point games, and we just followed through and then took the opportunities that we could to get up into the playoffs. So even then, it's not like they were winning 4 or 5-0. It was a team effort throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
But just the opportunity, I think watching the Charlotte game, I realized Pedro's coming off the bench. So it's like, wow, to be able to not have to start Pedro and have him come off the bench, that's going to, in my opinion, win us some games there.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited.
And he nearly did. He said to me, he said, I just need 5 minutes. And obviously got in the box and just on the end of a cross and was deflected, just went wide of the post, and he almost did. I back him to, when a personality like that says, I just need 5 minutes, I believe him. And he was very close, Again, Pedro Hernandez is a winner.
Yes.
His personality is a winner. So very lucky to have, whether he starts or comes off the bench, we're very lucky to have him in our group.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget the game last year where we were down 10 men. He took it on his shoulders. I think it was Louisville. I can't remember who it was against, but he went and scored. So yeah, I'm always super excited to see him.
Yeah.
So I guess we can move on to Tormenta, who actually has like at least one or two ex-CFC players. I know Taylor Gray just used to play at CFC, and
Yeah.
I think there's one or two. Someone was telling me there's one or two more.
Joseph Perez was at our neighbours last year and is there now. I couldn't tell you a third, but I know those two for sure.
Sure. So, and they, I think, have 1 win and 2 losses on the season. So they're just above us in the standings right there. So,
yeah,
huge opportunity to gain a spot in the standings, which
yeah.
has us, in my opinion, unfairly low, but that is what it is.
Well, I've played 2 games, and again, we've been away, and I'll share this mantra. Points on the road is every time we go away, we got points on the road, and clearly we'd love to come away with 3 of them. But good teams are able to, if we'd have tied more games last year, we'd have played in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's very true.
Lost games we should have got points out of.
Yeah. We were closer than it seemed like when we ended up.
We had a period in the season where obviously we came back from Omaha, which was I think that's the game you were referring to, Pedro. We put and we're like, okay, great, gritty performance, proper performance like a Chattanooga Red Wolves team should put in. And then we didn't play badly, but we lost against Fuego at home on that Wednesday. And that was a bit of like, how have we lost that game?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a turning point in the year. And then we lost Spokane. Spokane on the following Saturday. And it killed our momentum. And look, there's lots of reasons why that was a turning point. But it certainly was difficult to put back together after that. But here we are now. Yeah, like you said, we play Tormenta. I think they've had an up and down, let's say, start to their season. But again, I look at on paper, I think they've had one of the stronger off-season builds. They've brought in some proven quality lads that have gone in and done bits and bobs in the championship and been successful in there. Couple of young players, the lad Bazzini who scored for them the other week, I think he was at Vermont. He's a good player, and Ian's a good coach, and he's one of the few coaches in the USL that can say they've won a title. So I think we look at them and go, and they're a founding member as well. That's always a rivalry game. There's always going to be that, if it's Chattanooga Greenville or Chattanooga Tormenta or Chattanooga Omaha, these games feel a little bit bigger than, no, I don't mean it disrespectfully, but Chattanooga AV Outlet, because there's no history there versus the 6-7 years of history. And so, and even since I've come on board, we've had some thrillers against Tormenta. I think it's always 3-2, or where, in fact, I think we've beaten 3-2 twice at home while I've been in charge. And then we've had unfortunate results that we don't need to talk about a whole lot. These are always exciting games, and frankly, I really would like to get back in front of the fans, in front of you guys. I think when you guys are loud and when we manage to pack that stadium and we give you a reason to get excited, for me, it's the best place in the league to play, because you get right on top of us. I mean, you two obviously right there yelling at referees and the opposing coach.
Cordial with referees, got that.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But it is a brilliant place to play football, and I'm excited to get back in front of them and hopefully, show some of these lads that it'll be the first time they're there how good it is to play at CHI. And for me, it's a great stadium, great atmosphere, and we enjoy it every time, and we have to make you guys enjoy it every time.
Yep. Well, we're very, very much looking forward to be back watching you guys. It's been a long season already, it feels like, with no home opener, so we are very excited to be out there.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. And just one last note about it. I think in Tormenta they still have Austin Pack, right? He's an amazing keeper, so it'll be a challenge, but I think we are up to the challenge. So so can't wait for that game. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it should be fun. 2 good teams, competitive. Hoping we can draw keep gaining a bit of enthusiasm and excitement, put some butts in the seats, and make this place. I told the players, myself, the staff, the players, Our job is to make to give you guys a reason to come out and to make other teams hate coming here.
Yeah.
That's our job. And if we do the first bit well and put on a show, and we do the second bit well and make teams hate coming here, we'll get more. And we want to. We don't want it given. We want to earn it. We want to earn the support. We want to earn the. It's important to us that we redeem and get back to. I want you guys to be going to work and being like, "Oh, that team." You know, that's what we want, and we talk about it daily.
We'll do our best to help with making teams not want to come play here. Within due bounds.
We'll draw boundaries, but
yeah. But usually it's mostly friendly nature.
Yeah, no, and it's the best part of the game. Interactions with fans, people giving. Like I tell people that it's easy to moan about like you might see something, hear something, or a fan might say something. It's a privilege that I get to do, and some of these lads get to do something that other people really care about. That is an ultimate privilege that at any point for me or any of these players could be taken away. I think it's important that as a group and as individuals within the group, that we are always grounded in an appreciation of how cool it is that that someone's going to scream at me and tell me that what I'm wearing looks ridiculous. Because they're wrong, because I think I dress very well, but it is an ultimate privilege, and I love that. Like, and that is not lost on me. That how much of a privilege that is.
I actually think the worst that I ever saw someone treat a coach was Ziggy when we went to the away game at Knoxville. The guy just stood behind Ziggy and just said Ziggy for 90 minutes over and over and over. And at halftime, he left, and about 2 seconds before, he came right back out and Ziggy. I don't know that I can handle that.
That's commitment from the fan, though.
It was such commitment. Yeah. No water, no nothing for 90 minutes. Just Ziggy. So that's
the thing is, that's the kind of stuff that would just have me grinning. I just think
it was funny looking back on it, but it grinded on you a little bit.
We were at Spokane, and they had a pretty good crowd. And they have a technical box. You know me, I'm not very good at staying inside my technical box. I like to wander. I like to play the game. And this guy's screaming at me behind. He's like, Coach, get in your technical box. So I'd stand on the edge. I'd take a step and he'd go, Coach, get in your. I just played with him all game, and I thought, brilliant banter. It's fun. It's part of it. You gotta enjoy it. So
that is a familiar battle for sure.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. It's always great to have that interaction, especially with our team, of course, but then with the opposing team. And even at the end of the match, hopefully they understand that it's all in fun and games. But we just so we can't wait guys back at CHI. I definitely can't wait for that. And really excited Wednesday night.
Yeah, Wednesday again. As we kind of wrap up, Wednesday will be huge for us. In the scope of the season, maybe not, but for the fans, certainly. A lot of our fans, not me in particular, but a lot of our fans have been, not treated greatly, maybe beyond the bounds of what you would want to by their fans. So a lot of us do, have a statement to make, have something to prove. So I think that you fully understand, the fans' feelings towards the game on Wednesday. So
yeah, we have been what is it now? 10 days ago it was announced, maybe a little over. And internally within our locker room, we are prepared to talk about setting goals. I won't share exactly what the goals are, but I'll just let you know that we are very much aware of the importance of this game for our fan base, and are doing everything we can to make sure we put on a performance. Now, football's football, and I make no promises, but what I do think I can promise is that I'm going to put out a team that are going to run themselves into the ground. Can't promise the result, but I promise that I personally and my staff are giving everything they have to the prep, and I don't have any doubts that I feel comfortable making the promise that the players will do the same.
Oh, we've seen nothing but positive stuff from the players, so we feel like it too. So
Yeah,
it's just
definitely.
got to be said.
Yeah. We're excited. This is football. This is what we like doing. We want to play in big games, and we're excited. We're really looking forward to it. Both, obviously Wednesday and then getting back at home. It's an exciting week for us.
Yep, super exciting.
Super exciting.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know it's a little bit late, so thank you so much. I know you're busy. You got a lot to do. So
no, I appreciate the patience. I wanted to make sure it happened. It just the work day ran long, and I appreciate the flexibility.
Yeah, it is what it is. Thank you so much. We look forward to talking to you again, and we will see you 2 days.
Yes.
Yeah, top. Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate you.
Sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
So Maj, just some parting thoughts. I think we impressed the importance, for whatever reason, the front office doesn't want to really promote this game, but that is what it is. I know a lot of people are disappointed with the front office as I think that's kind of universal. That is what it is. What I'm not disappointed in is Coach Scott and the team that he has put on the field. So I'm very much looking forward to showing up and showing out for him and them.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the big things and I say this all the time, it's you look at all the players and their goals and their dreams, and for me, it's like, hey, we got to do what we got to do to support them, no matter how disappointed we are with the FO, and all the things that they do or don't do. The players are definitely doing everything that they can to win, and it's shown in these first 3 games, and it's real exciting. I think we picked up some great talent this past week that came on board, and really looking forward to see it. And as you're probably familiar with this, winter is coming, so definitely be excited to see that coming back. And
yep, it is the house that Luke built.
Yep, it is the house of Luke. It is the house of Luke. So
Jimmy, that's an end, Jimmy.
And Jimmy. So it will be exciting to see. I think the fans, we have I think a lot of expectations for this team, and it's a passion. You look with all the ups and the downs we have, and we see what the fans are saying and things, and it's a fan base that loves and cares for this team, and you see it, through the thick and thin, they're still there. And although right now there's some disappointment and things going on, I think overall, once the fans get to see the team on the pitch, and we get to know these guys, and the guys who've been there, the Wallies, Omars, both of them, Philippe being back, being great, Ricardo
for sure,
huge, to see that. And then, the new players that have come on, I think they've really quickly have identified and understand what it means to us with the crest. And I think that they're there with it. You know what I mean? It's not like one of these players that have come in that don't appreciate who we are as a community and as a fan base. I think that they've jumped into it 100% and ready to give us what hopefully the city deserves, and that's a USL championship and a victory this Wednesday. God willing. So I'm really pumped for that. So I know my kids are, their friends are on both sides, and looking forward to a great night Wednesday night, hopefully, from both sides.
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot more calmer heads and cooler heads, I should say, from both sides of things than the ones that are being loud and obnoxious. But hey, it's a great night, and it's a great night for Chattanooga overall. Regardless of who it is, we get to come together as a city and watch a great match, hopefully put on by 2 great teams, and continue to build the legacy of Chattanooga overall. So looking forward to that. Really
absolutely
pumped. Yeah, so
absolutely, I can't wait.
Yeah,
well, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. We will see you and everybody else at Wednesday. Naked River at 5, second floor, right? Second floor for the meetup. Otherwise, meet at the gate. We'll try to get in together, and we have a whole section of the field to ourselves, so we're good.
Yes, sounds like it's going to be a big old party for us. So.
All right. Have a good night. See you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.